Welcome back to News You Missed.
Good morning, everybody. Today is Thursday, the 25th of September, 2025. Welcome to the show. There's all three of us on today. Hello, Warren. Hello, Drew. How are you both?
Absolutely fine. Thank you very much for having us.
Fantastic. Well, Warren, since we haven't seen you in a little while, I'll let you go first with the news.
Thank you very much. Well, very, very simply, what we've got is a major problem about to escalate in the Philippines. The Chinese Coast Guard and the Philippines Coast Guard, as you know, have had lots and lots of battles. Marco Rubio has just announced a huge package that is going to go to the Philippines from the U.S. House Select Committee to put more guns on the Coast Guard of the Philippines boats. This is part of the escalation that's going to happen around the islands, I'm afraid, as the China and Philippines relations get worse and worse and worse.
Well, if Marco Rubio's getting involved, we know war's coming, don't we?
We do, yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic. Drew, what have you got?
Well, Paul, my first story of the day is another mysterious death in Russia. A multi-millionaire businessman was found dead in a toilet. Here's the latest in a string of sudden and unexplained deaths among the country's wealthiest elite. Coincidence or a pattern too strange to ignore?
Wow, that is a strange one, isn't it? But we know there's been a few strange things going on, don't we, Warren?
We do, yeah. There's all sorts of oligarchs who've gone missing on all sides before Russian oligarchs were falling out of windows many years ago.
Well, my first story of the day, President Trump has unveiled a new presidential walk of fame at the White House, but with one striking omission. Every president is featured in gold-framed portraits along the West Wing colonnade, except Joe Biden, who is instead represented by an image of an auto pen, the device used to replicate his signature. Trump has long mocked Biden's reliance on the auto pen, even ordering a Justice Department probe into whether aides were exercising authority on his behalf. The exhibition comes as part of a broader Trump-era renovations, which include a new ballroom, rose garden upgrades, and giant flagpoles on the White House lawn. Well, I think we all know Joe Biden wasn't quite there, was he?
I did
No,
see
exactly.
that.
Unbelievable, isn't it? When you sort of look at it, because what was it? One commentator said you wouldn't write about it. I thought that was quite clever. There is Zelensky fatigue, by the way. Vladimir Zelensky appeared at the UN, and as you can see, when he got up to give his keynote speech, the auditorium was less than a quarter full. Not quite the, shall we say, the response he was hoping for. Of course, Annalena Baerbock, his best pal, is now the Secretary General of the UN, and Zelensky was expecting to meet all sorts of world leaders and many others. But of course, it being the UN, many don't agree with Zelensky, and they showed by voting with their feet.
Oh, wow. And I've just got a story on the back end of that, Warren. Well, at the United Nations, Ukraine and the European Union presented a joint statement condemning Russia's actions, but it gained support from only 36 of the 193 member states. The US notably abstained. Backed by most EU countries, along with allies like Canada, Japan and the UK, the statement called Russia's move a blatant violation of the UN Charter and urged maximum pressure on Moscow. Russia dismissed the effort as rhetoric, while insisting the conflict is a proxy war driven by the West. I think that's pretty much exactly what we thought, but support is waning on Ukraine, isn't that right, Warren?
Yeah, absolutely. The problem is all the European Union signed it, but all the rest of the world outside of the EU have not signed it. And it just goes to show that the global south is all coming together under the BRICS nations, and they're saying we're not having a bar of it. So, and of course, the EU, pretty much Trump has turned around and told the European Union that they're on their own. He'll keep selling them weapons and selling them oil, but you want to fight Russia, you do it yourself. I mean, he had a go at Russia, but the message is very, very clear. And I don't think people have understood that Trump has gone, I'm done with Ukraine. I've tried to make peace. It's not going to happen. I'm walking away.
Wow. I think we're seeing it all winding down, aren't we, Warren? Drew, what have you got next?
My next story is in Denmark. Another airport was forced to shut down after mystery drones were spotted overhead. Flights diverted, passengers stranded, and still no explanation. Is it mischief or something more sinister? What is going on? We were saying this, was it yesterday or a couple of days ago about the drones?
A lot going on with the drones, and I think it's only going to get worse. You know, dare I say it, drones will become the terrorist choice because there's no people there.
Well, saying that, Paul, I'll just quickly, as we're on the subject, Ukraine has released dramatic video of a naval drone bombing a Russian oil site. It strikes at the heart of Putin's energy empire. The drones, this is just the beginning of us seeing drones flying around the world. I think our skies are going to be full of them. We're going to absolutely hate it. Can you imagine the noise?
Yeah, absolutely. And just while you're on that subject, of course, we've had this as an escalation from NATO. We had von der Leyen's plane, the GPS was a problem. Then we had drones into Poland. Then we had drones into Romania. Now we've got drones in Copenhagen. The Estonia violation of their airspace in what basically is a rock. And of course, we've now also had GPS problems in Norway. And of course, this is all part of the escalation of ramping up, should we say, as much support as possible. It is vital for NATO to get America to come back into this war. Without it, they're not going to fight it. So we're going to see more and more of these drone stories as we go along.
Absolutely, indeed. Drew, what have you got next?
Ooh, my next story would be in Southampton, UK. Holidaymakers returned from cruises to find their cars gone. 17 vehicles stolen from a so-called secure parking lot, advertised with CCTV and guards. Police have recovered a few, but most are still missing.
Oh, wow, that's not something to come back to, is it, off of your holiday? Well, my next story, British police have arrested a man in his 40s in connection with the cyber attack that disrupted major airports in London, Berlin and Brussels over the weekend. The attack targeted electronic check-in systems, forcing staff to revert to manual processes and causing long delays. The suspect is on conditional bail as a national crime agency continues its investigation. Experts say the breach may have involved ransomware, though no group has claimed responsibility.
Wow, you're seeing more and more problems at airports, aren't you, with things getting blown up and everything else. We have a problem with the Pentagon. The Pentagon has issued a statement saying that press releases now, literally, they will turn around and call it very, very sensitive stuff, must not be published by any press anywhere around the world. When they turned around and said what would be classed as sensitive material that they couldn't publish, the Pentagon will decide what that stuff is, whether or not it can be published. That's just what we need, isn't it? The military telling us what we can and can't say.
Oh, it's very much an interesting one, isn't it, Warren? But then maybe the Pentagon's got bigger problems like leaks inside it. So, yeah, it's very much a wartime power, that, isn't it?
It is. It's worrying.
My next story, the International Criminal Court has charged former Philippines President Rodrigo Duterte with crimes against humanity. Now, we don't hear about that one often. Prosecutors allege his ruthless war on drugs led to thousands of killings, including hundreds of targeted executions, while he served as mayor and president. Duterte, now 80, was detained and surrendered to The Hague, though his lawyers argue the ICC lacks jurisdiction since the Philippines withdrew from the Rome Statute. The case highlights the deadly legacy of his anti-drug campaign and ongoing debates over accountability.
Okay, my last story of the day is Britain's borders are once again under the spotlight. Reports call the asylum and immigration system shambolic, with cases piling up and controls stretched to the limits. It's the same story we've heard for years, but still no lasting solutions. I mean, it's not rocket science, is it? What needs to be done?
No, it's not, is it, Drew? It isn't at all. Warren, what's your story?
My last story is one that is very, very strange indeed. We have got TikTok is about to be done a deal with China and America. The only problem being that the people who are going to be running the algorithm of TikTok is a company called Oracle. Oracle is a very, very pro-Jewish or very pro-Israel company. So, of course, be ready to see lots of people banned off of TikTok or the algorithm changed when anybody mentions Gaza.
Wow, that is a worrying thought indeed, isn't it, Warren? Well, my final story of the day. President Donald Trump is vowing to eradicate what he calls radical left terrorism after a gunman opened fire on an ICE facility in Dallas. The attack left one detainee dead and 2 critically injured, though no ICE agents were harmed. Authorities identified the shooter as 29-year-old Joshua Han, who died of a suspected self-inflicted gunshot wound. Investigators say shell casings were marked with the words anti-ICE. Trump condemned the attack as despicable and pledged an executive order to dismantle domestic terrorism networks. Homeland Security says security will now be stepped up at ICE facilities nationwide. Wow, that is quite a harrowing story, really, because we are seeing, dare I say it, the far left go off the rails now. They are completely off the rails and they are doing some heinous things out there. We've seen Antifa be declared a terrorist organisation now, and we're seeing a lot of weird people coming out of the woodwork.
It seems to be daily, doesn't it now? Like, consistently. Yeah. Gotta be safe out there, guys. Be careful.
And that was the news you missed on Thursday, the 25th of September, 2025. Thanks for joining us. And if you want to find out what's really going on under the surface from the news, head over to charlieward.com. Sign up for the Insiders Club, where we are live every Wednesday and Saturday. And you, the audience, get to ask us questions. And this Saturday, we have special guest Jason Q, who is an expert in what's going on out there in Gaza, Israel, and a few other places. He loves a good deep dive. So all that's left for me to say is to take care, God bless, and see you all soon. Bye now.
Bye-bye.